Why is Singapore 7 times wealthier than Malaysia? The answer is choice. In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. But the paths they chose were polar opposites. Today, Singapore's GDP per capita stands at roughly $88,000. Malaysia's is around $13,000. A sevenfold difference. Why did this gap emerge? This slide explains it all. In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. Lee Kuan Yew chose a rigorous long-term strategy. Eliminate corruption, establish rule of law, attract foreign investment, and invest massively in education. Malaysia chose a different path. After the 1969 race riots, it shifted decisively toward the Bumiputera policy in 1971, favoring ethnic Malays while systematically discriminating against Chinese and Indians. The results are clear. Singapore attracted talent, Malaysia lost talent, and the economic gap widened to sevenfold. This is what 60 years of economic history proves, not speculation. A case study where policy determined destiny. And this is understandable. Look at the data. Follow the policies. Now you can understand the consequences of national choices. Today I'll show you that analysis. Singapore's success wasn't accidental. It was Lee Kuan Yew's systematic institutional design. First, the elimination of corruption. In the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, Singapore ranked 5th globally. Malaysia ranked 57th. High compensation schemes, combined with strong powers for anti-corruption agencies, strict law enforcement, and transparent institutional operations, have kept corruption in check. The incentives for corruption were eliminated both economically and legally. Second, attracting foreign investment. The standard corporate tax rate is 17%. Company registration is possible in a short time frame through online procedures. Procedures are swift and predictable, though sector-specific regulations in areas like finance and data protection clearly exist. This is why companies worldwide base their headquarters in Singapore. Third, investment in education. Roughly 3% of GDP, about 20% of the national budget, goes into education. In the 2022 PISA mathematics test, Singapore ranked among the top tier. They understood that human capital was the nation's only resource. Singapore has another weapon: geography. The Strait of Malacca, positioned at a choke point of global trade. In 2023, roughly 39 million TEUs, the world's second-largest container throughput. This port operates 24/7, 365 days a year. Efficiency is world-class. It functions as a hub on the east-west trade route connecting East Asia with Europe and the Middle East. Geographic advantage, maximized through institutional design. This is Singapore's port strategy. Malaysia chose a different path. After the 1969 race riots, it shifted decisively toward the Bumiputera policy in 1971, a policy favoring ethnic Malays. University admission quotas, government contracts, corporate ownership. Malays received preferential treatment across the board. Chinese and Indians were placed at a systematic disadvantage. The results are clear. Highly skilled talent left. According to 2024 official statistics, roughly 60% of Malaysian talent working abroad, over 1.13 million people, are in Singapore. In a country where meritocracy doesn't function, talented individuals cannot thrive. Corporate international competitiveness declined. Economic efficiency dropped significantly. This is what makes Malaysia's escape from the middle-income trap so difficult. Institutions determine destiny. Singapore and Malaysia are the perfect case study. Singapore chose rule of law. They enforced meritocracy rigorously. 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, rank 5, standard corporate tax rate of 17%, swift company registration, roughly 3% of GDP, invested in education. These institutions attracted foreign capital and talent. Since 1971, Malaysia institutionalized ethnic favoritism. It accepted systematic inefficiency. 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, rank 57, talent outflow of over 1.13 million due to Bumiputera policies, absence of meritocracy. These institutions made escape from the middle-income trap difficult. The results show in the numbers. Nominal GDP per capita, roughly $88,000 versus around $13,000. A seven-fold difference. For accurate comparison, we need to look at purchasing power parity as well. Nominal figures are affected by exchange rates, but purchasing power parity adjusts for prices and reflects living standards more closely. However, regardless of which metric we use, the fact remains that a significant gap exists. This gap isn't accidental. It's the accumulation of 60 years of institutions. In 1965, Singapore's leaders faced a choice. In 1971, Malaysia's leaders also faced a choice. Prioritize short-term ethnic harmony or prioritize long-term economic efficiency? Singapore chose the long-term. It was a harsh policy. Eliminate corruption, enforce meritocracy rigorously, welcome foreign investment. In the short term, it came with pain. In 1971, Malaysia chose the short term. It prioritized ethnic harmony. The Bumiputera policy gained Malay support, but economic efficiency was sacrificed. 60 years later, the results are clear. Nominal GDP per capita shows a seven-fold difference. Foreign investment attraction is incomparable. Talent attraction is decisively different. However, this gap cannot be explained by a single factor. In addition to differences in institutional quality and talent policies, multiple factors including urban-state agglomeration effects, industrial structure, and political-economic path dependence have compounded to widen the gap. The cumulative effects of institutions expand over time. Small differences become massive gaps over 60 years. This is the long-term impact of policy. But in 2024, both nations face a new phase. The Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone Initiative. Singapore, facing high costs, and Malaysia, pushing reforms, are beginning to collaborate economically again after 60 years. From confrontation to complementarity. Institutions aren't fixed. Both nations are updating their systems amid industrial upgrading and new conditions. So let's organize today's analysis. Here's the summary. First, the decisive difference in institutional design. Singapore achieved 5th place in the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, a standard corporate tax rate of 17%, swift company registration, roughly 3% of GDP invested in education, and top-tier performance in the 2022 PISA Mathematics Assessment. Malaysia ranked 57th in the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index and faced talent outflow of over 1.13 million and absence of meritocracy due to Bumiputera policies implemented since 1971. Second, the degree of geographic advantage utilization. Singapore became the world's second-largest port hub in 2023, with roughly 39 million TEUs annually, maximizing the geographic advantage of the Strait of Malacca. Malaysia, despite being in the same region, failed to fully capitalize on this advantage due to institutional inefficiencies. Third, the long-term consequences of policy choices. As of 2024, the roughly seven-fold economic gap, nominal GDP per capita of approximately $88,000 versus around $13,000, clearly demonstrates the cumulative effects of 60 years of policy choices. However, institutions aren't fixed, and both nations continue to update their systems amid industrial upgrading and new economic partnerships. If you were a leader in 1965, which path would you have chosen? Policy creates nations. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this analysis. This channel analyzes global events through geopolitical and economic perspectives. Facts, not emotions. Mechanisms, not opinions. Deepening your understanding of the world. Subscribe to the channel and let's explore the world's truths together next time. Turn on notifications, and with each new analysis, your worldview will level up. I'll see you in the next deep dive.